Oh, yes. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Param Om. Namaste. Okay, we begin page 1464 at the bottom, verse 17. Among the devotees, the wise who is ever steadfast, who has undivided devotion, is the superior of all devotees. For I am very dear to the wise man, and the wise man is very dear to me. So now there is a love, devotion, which is reciprocal, you say?
Mhm.
Yeah, which means to say, oh, the devotee loves me greatly, and I also am very dear to them as well, you know. So we don't need to go into that level of interpretation, but it means to say that Dhyani is the highest of the devotees, which brings us into the conversation of the today's class, which is, Yanis usually do not have any devotion. That was the first impression I got when I contact people from Vedanta. They were very dry, so to speak, and I said, okay, but the logic is so brilliant. I love it, and it was the best thing I did to stay with it because I have this romantic temperament, but I also have a great appreciation for pure logic. You understand? So I somehow I could appreciate the the dryness of the sangha we had at the time. So Krishna says among all the four types of bhaktas that we have seen last time, the yani excels all others. This verse removes possible misconceptions. Misconceptions. So what are the misconceptions? Beginning with this one, the Yani Yoga has no devotion required at all. It's just everything in here. You know, and this is the first one. And the first one, according to Swami, is that I can follow Bhakti Yoga. What he means to say is that the first misconception is to believe that Bhakti Yoga is a spiritual pasana or a spiritual path or a spiritual sadhana, which is not. Seen by another angle, I can be a Bhakti yogi and I can get self-knowledge and freedom, even though the big devotees of the Lord do not go much into the concept of self-knowledge. They much less the concept of moksha. But the misconception here is that karma yoga and devotional yoga or yoga is a path. Devotion is a path. Devotion is a real yoga, a sadhana, and you don't require to go into knowledge to be liberated, let's say. Okay, so this is one of the biggest misconception. Yani yoga is very dry for most people. They say, especially in Kali Yuga, it's almost impossible. I stay as a bhakta where I feel very comfortable. As a bhakta, I can find protection in the Lord. Krishna, he knocks that idea off, saying that Bhakti Yoga, you have to saying that ultimately, if you have this devotional temperament, you must come to Yin Yoga if you really want to have self-knowledge. So again, Ramana Maharaj had a very beautiful saying at a certain point when somebody brought to this subject matter to his attention. He said that Kama Yoga and Yin Yoga are complementary. If you begin with devotion, If you begin with Bhakti Yoga, you must, you must move to Yana Yoga. And if you begin with Yana Yoga, you must later on develop Bhakti Yoga or devotion if you want to really grow. Okay, so it means to say that they are complementary. It's exactly what you were telling me at the beginning. You can have this knowledge figured out and so on. But somehow, if you don't feel love in general for Saguna, Nirguna, Brahman, there is something missing. There is an element missing. And this devotion is the perfume by which we can detect spiritual elevation. It's a feeling of love and gratitude. So if the knowledge is only intellectual and the perfume is not there, meaning to say love and devotion and gratitude, chances are that the individual is really missing something. Okay, and a bhakti yogi cannot escape the yanim. A bhakti yogi cannot escape from yanim. He has to come to yana. Initially, he can confine to Karma Yoga. All right. And you see, he can confine to Karma Yoga, not to Bhakti Yoga. But having attained the certain purity, what is the purity? Is devotion. Having attained a certain purity, because as a Karma Yoga, the goal is to develop purity. Purity is a sense of love, devotion, reverence, gratitude, thankfulness, serving the Lord is one's goal, accepting whatever is the test. So we can confine Karma Yoga, but having attained the purity, means devotion. So, and then he must go to Yana because now he's highly qualified. He understood the logic, the fundamentals, the rationale of the involving Ishvara, Jiva, Jagata, this triad. And not only he developed love and devotion towards the Ishvara, the creator, and then he can go into Yana Yoga. Why? Yana Yoga, he's going to further investigate the nature of Yana, of Saguna, Ishvara, because he understood that the ultimate goal is to understand the nature of Nirguna, Brahman, and claim one's identity as Nirguna Brahman as well. So once he attains enough purity, he can move to Yana. And what is coming to Yana? It means not meditation, another misunderstanding, It's not like trying to meditate to have an experience of non-duality. No, it's not that. Those are all misconceptions. What is Yana Yoga? It's not asking, who am I, who am I, who am I? So Yana Yoga is just a consistent, systematic study of the scripture with the help of a guru. He says in meditation, we can just revisit what we already got, known, which indicates that this meditation is contemplation. It's not just trying to enjoy a silent mind, and so on. Yana Yoga means systematic study of the scriptures under the guidance of a competent teacher. What kind of scriptures? Those scriptures which deal with the lower as well, the higher nature of Ishvara. So the complete teachings is going to unfold, reveal the nature of Saguna Ishvara as well, Nirguna Ishvara at the end. Not only Saguna, but also Nirguna. So many people talk about this text, Bhagavatam, and I heard about this. I never read it, but now that Swami says what he says here, I have even less interest to explore that text. He says it's a wonderful text, deals with Saguna Krishna and Nirguna Krishna. Krishna representing Brahman here. But they filter the nirguna portion of the text, meaning to say they give you no importance to nirguna portion of Krishna, of the scripture. They will talk about all different aspects of Saguna nature of Krishna. The story part is beautifully described. And when they come to the higher nature of Krishna, they quietly skip, or they quickly run through that. But the fact is, you need to study a lot of Saguna nature of Brahman and then be prepared to Nirguna apara nature of Brahman. Coming to Yana means systematic study of the scriptures on the nature of both Saguna and Nirguna Brahman. Also, this verse removes another misconception. Whoever is a Yani cannot have devotion. This is even the biggest misconception. So it's the biggest misconception. So Yani is a dry individual with no feeling of love, compassion, and empathy to anything. He only sees non-duality, therefore he has no empathy in his heart. If Yana comes, Bhakti leaves is the concept here. Some people even complain to Swamiji saying, "Oh, Swami, I began studying with you the scriptures of Vedanta and my bhakti is going and going and going and going." Huh? Swami say Jesus misunderstand the bhakti will never go away. I think I mentioned recently that the Yani develops a different kind of devotion, which is less sentimental. It's more like a peaceful sense of wonder, appreciation, and gratitude. But it's cool. It's not like, it's not like tears. It's different because you were seeing just this incredible magic show or miracle of life before our eyes, and knowing that everything is just Brahman, the very nature of each one of us. Yet you have gratitude to Maya, Ishvara, and Brahman for providing the substratum, the adhisthana. Knowing that Brahman is our very nature. Any question about that?
Nope. Could not be more true.
Okay. And why this Yani is said to be the highest? Because this Yani is established in the nature of the true nature of Ishvara, which is Nirguna Atma. He is established in Nirguna Atma as Nirguna Atma, the only reality, the true nature of God. And that knowledge is firm. He is ever steadfast. And because this devotion is non-dual, it's not divided. There is no, the devotee and the object of devotion or love. When the devotee, the intrinsic nature of devotee is the object of devotion, and then this devotion is said to be Advaita. And there is no separation, distance, then this appreciation for existence itself is building into every human being. Swami is going to elaborate a little bit. It's building to the system. Every human being has a certain profound, instinctive love for one's existence. Unfortunately, the human beings, they believe their existence means to say the existence of the physical body. But with Yana, the Yani understands that existence is not part, product, or property of the physical body. So the Yani is going to enjoy love, appreciate, have this great gratitude for one's existence, knowing that existence is one, non-dual existence, appearing with as the existence of numberless namarupas, which are just apparent projection upon existence itself, which is another name for consciousness. So being a devotee of that which is not something separate or apart from one's true self, this devotion, the object of devotion is God, is not subject to what? Arrival and departure. So these deities may appear, may disappear according to our effort in doing pujas and other sadhanas. But when it's your intrinsic nature and you know that it's always ever present, and then you have it there, and you don't need to do anything to be grateful to that. So blesses and goes like, therefore, my association with the Lord is not subject to arrival departure, whereas in the bhakti, dualistic, but the Lord is now in the yani bhakti, the Lord is never away from me, therefore I also never away from God. Is the concept, the notion, the understanding that there is only one God, the God is the Atma, one without a conscious existence of limitless nature. And so nobody's ever away from God, from Brahman. Therefore, this knowledge becomes really firm, permanent, solid, ever-present knowledge, regardless of the appearance circumstance of the appearing Dharma field. Ishvara Nista and Eka Bhakti. So, Advaita Bhaktam, he has got. What is the Veda? I forgot the Veda.
No difference.
No difference, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, I have to say something. It does not mean that the Yoni is all the time keeping a thought in his mind saying that this is all Brahman, there is only Brahman, this is, the true nature is non-duality. No. It's just that knowledge is a knowledge firm due to understanding, slowly you develop this understanding and then it's there. So you don't need to repeat that because it's there, You can go about thinking of other things as you navigate and interact with other things. You don't need to say, this is all Brahman, and this is I myself loving myself, I'm devoted to my... No, none of this. It's just that is established fact in the heart of the yoni that has purified to the point of developing this highest level of devotion. And
the Agyani never has to sit around all day saying, I'm the body-mind sense complex.
There we go. Very well said. Nicely put. Thank you. The Agyani has a hard and fast knowledge in regards to aham, body, mind as me. So the Jnani has likewise a hard and fast knowledge. Aham, Brahmasmi. And likewise, he does not need to remember that moment to moment. Okay. A beautiful aspect we have to remember about love, there is a discussion in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Which one a human being loves most? There is a discussion. So a human being loves, yes, we have an experience of love and appreciation, attachment, and other things that come with appreciating love, objects of love. There is a discussion, which one, which kind of, what we human being loves the most. The Upanishad comes to the conclusion that that is the thing that human beings love the most is what? one's own existence. Unfortunately, they attach one's existence to existence of one's instrument, the body. So, but everybody loves one's existence the most. People will say, no, not the case with me. I love my husband, my children, and so on, my mother. But the Upanishad says clearly, no, you're deceiving yourself. No one loves anyone more than we love ourselves. Everybody loves oneself only. This is a very disturbing fact because we were thinking that husband and wife and children, love me so much. So we have seen this concept a few times presented by Ramji as well from different angles. And it's for the sake in some of our texts, for the sake of the self and the self alone. I love my wife, I love my husband, because I love someone that somehow provides me with better circumstance and protection, security. So I feel that I'm loving others, but I'm loved for my sake, the sake of myself. The tragedy is that we believe that our self, our existence, means the existence of the body. In the West, especially in the United States, people say, I love you, I love you, I love you all the time. Why you have to say it regularly? Because nobody really believes that. Yeah, everybody's doubtful about that. And then they want reassurance. Do you love me? Do you love me? And then the other begins to say, love you, don't ask me, love you. And then you are meant to say, love you too, you know? It was so funny. I was having this experience when some people were saying, oh, I love you. And then I would just answer, say, thank you, rather than say, love you too. And and it's not polite to say that. You must follow the protocol. How to keep your husband and wife with you all the time. Remember, I love you, I love you, I love you, and they will never go away. They will feel what? Safe. They will feel that your love will never change, will be there forever. But with maturity, you understand it, not even your wife, but at least I understand there is nobody who ever loved me as I did love myself. It was all circumstantial love or appreciation because there was something in there to one another. Mm. So it's for one's own happiness, as long as these external factors are you have to perform as well and do things to my advantage, and I do the same thing towards you, and then we have a good deal here, and then I can say I love you. No, the moment that the circumstances are not there for whatsoever reason, the other goes cool or cold on you, or the other start flirting with somebody else, or the wife turns their love and attention to the children. The moment that things go different and the husband lost the jobs and does not provide anymore, so the other is going to be dropped like a hot potato, says Swamiji. This is the bitterest truth, says Swamiji. As long as a person is providing, earning money, the father, the husband, they have love and respect and appreciation from the family. The moment the person somehow flips, and then the love, appreciation, respect will be leaving from the kitchen door.
Arlindo, this is this is why my husband passed away about 10 years ago. And my love and appreciation for him has grown.
Mm.
And it's because he's as if in the other room and not bothering me. It's all those conditional things that
Yeah.
they they're all gone and there's just
Yeah, that is
love.
another angle of what we may call appreciation in love, huh? Nice, a good angle as well, because every relationship binds us and brings about uh, dependence, disagreement, and compromise. And nobody likes, to depend and compromise and this and that and the others. Hey, you should this, you should this, you should that. Once that is gone, that is one of the things. I mean, I live alone now for 3 years, and uh, it's so different to be alone. I mean, Sylvia, she talks a lot. She still calls me unnecessary more often than not. But I have a good insulation from this kind of association, and and then you have a better condition to love the other from a distance. My first guru used to say, boyfriend and girlfriend must stay away from one another, possibly living on under different roof, so that the boyfriends and girlfriends do not turn into boy enemies and girl enemies. He had some insight to that. Our scriptures goes one step further. Even the love we feel we have toward God is conditional, isn't it true? I have a student of mine here in Brazil that she sees what's happening in Brazil, politically, socially, economically. Brazil is being destroyed so rapidly. And she knows something about what's happening in the world. And she starts just getting confused and say, no, I mean, Ishwara has gone mad. What's wrong with Ishwara, Because she is a bit rich and everything was so secure and stable, quite few children, 5 or 6, several grandchildren, a beautiful home with a perfect water swimming pool. And where I go, I'm going next week, and I always stay in the little mansion. And now the industry, the company, everything is, shaking, and so many bad things are happening. And she start losing trust, love towards Ishwara, because Ishwara is not delivering. Even the love toward God, even the understanding of Ishwara is going to be shaken up if God is not delivering. It means to say, even the devotees, they offer a certain level of conditional devotion, and the only devotion that is unconditional is the non-dual devotion, a yani that understood. I mean, you can be a karma yoga so profoundly evolved that you understand the system to an extent that you say, no, this is the Parabada. This is my Parabada. This is a nation's Parabada. This is collective Parabada. You understand everything and saying suffering is part of life. Life is about pleasures and sufferings. So you can get uh, your love uh, very, very stable if you really understood Ishwara system. But if you come to understand Nirguna, Atma as your very nature of everything, and then you have the potential to love God unconditionally. I mean, we have that saying that it's attribute to Jesus Christ on the in the cross, being say, "Have you forgiven me, forgotten me, Lord?" So I'm being nailed here, suffering. So what's wrong? So I have given you everything, and this is the condition, you put me through now. And then somehow he as it says, he recovers from that, no, I'd say, a moment of doubt, and they say, it's all good, okay? Forgive these people, they are ignorant. I'm just an instrument to you. I'm doing what you have asked me to do, something like that. So when a devotee is in difficulty, their devotion waves a little bit. And this lady will say, Swami, I have such a devotion, and now I'm faced with problem after problem. So what is the use of this devotion? So I have this incredible love and devotion for as long as God delivers circumstances which are free from suffering, from crisis, so from tragedies. But if someone is encountering a problem after the problem, so what is the use of devotion? This is conditional devotion. This is, a devotion for the sake of getting security and protection from God. Yeah. Every devotee wants protection to the extent that one lives favorable parabada. If favorable parabada turns into unfavorable parabada, so the devotee is going to doubt. Therefore, self-love is the highest love. Object, love to the Lord is something other than yourself, is conditional. So now the Upanishad says that a beautiful logic, if love towards God must be the highest, if love towards God must be the highest, it's possible only under one condition. I have to give you the clue. Self-love is the highest. If love towards God must be the highest, the Lord should not be outside or away or apart from I, consciousness, not different from me. When I and God become identical in nature, and then I understand why I have been loving myself above all things and above all people. God love is equal to self-love. Since self-love is the highest, God love will be the highest. And for Yani, God and self have become one and the same thing. They are synonymous. Therefore, for a Yani, God love is equal to self-love, and therefore it is the highest form of love. And this is interesting. The Yani, mistakenly here and there, is also judged as someone who is selfish. Why? Because the Yani wants develop spiritual growth, spiritual elevation, and furthermore, freedom for whom? For himself, self-knowledge for whom? For himself, for herself. So it's totally self-centered. And because people believe that people are searching all of them things to believe that to consolidate the fact that I am this body mind sense complex, and now I'm free. I'm the highest body mind sense complex. I'm free as a body mind sense complex. I'm the highest purified body mind self complex. No, the Yani goes into Yani yoga to understand that the self is that fundamental intrinsic nature reality, which is everything and everyone's nature. So if he loves the self, and then that love to the self, which is equal to love towards God, it transpires as love and respect to everyone around you, every living creature, even inert creatures or objects. So it's You love the self. Oh, you think it's easy. Don't think that you are the only self. There is only the self out there. You know, you're gonna have to see that transpiring as well. You know. Swami presents us with a beautiful story or a topic presenting Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yani is the greatest devotee because for a Yani, I am the dearest one, and for a Yani, I am the dearest. Can you see the logic? Now, there is a wider. Uh, Swami repeats himself, and then the translation, the literal translation of his delivery sometimes is missing some punctuation. Uh, Yani is the greatest devotee because for a Yani, I, Brahman, Shvara, I am the greatest one. And why? Why for a Yani, I am the greatest, the dearest? And why so? Why the Yani believes I'm the greatest, the dearest? Can you see the logic? For a Yani, he is the dearest one, but since Yani has identified myself with the Lord, so I become dearest to him as well. You understand the logic? Did you get it? Yeah. Why? Now for the first time I got this logic. Why it says that I'm the dearest to him and he the dearest to me. Okay? Because he's identified as the only self. He's the dearest. But since he identified myself with him, I become dearest to him as well. And he is the dearest to me because he's one with me. Yani, I am the dearest, so you can see the logic for Yani also. He is the dearest one. But since Yani has identified with him, I become dearest to him. Therefore, aham prayatimaha. And not only that, I also love Yani as the closest to me. So Yani is dearest to me. I'm dearest to Yani because both are the same Nirguna Atma, identical. So how so? How so I am the dearest to the Yani and the Yani is the dearest to me? There is no question of two Atmas, two selves. No? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some contemplation here because it's still the logic is not so well established. Of if you got that, please share with me. So Yani
Well,
is dearest to me as well. I am the dearest to the Yani, but Yani is the dearest to me. There is only one self. Huh? The Yani can see that the Lord is the dearest to me because it's his own self. But the Lord itself cannot cannot say the Yani is the dearest to me. Go ahead.
well, there's only one love. And so there's really no back and forth. It's just a unity of love. Does that make
There is only love in love with itself. Uh, something like that. Which brings us to the concept that love is God is love as well. You know, it somehow permeates most of the religions. Okay, the verse 18. All these devotees are noble, certainly. However, the wise man is myself. So maybe there will be further clarification here. However, the wise man is myself. This is my teaching. Because with a steadfast mind, he has resorted in me alone, and I am the highest goal. So it's the same concept, but hopefully Swami is going to find a slightly different angle. And the thing was already established before in what Swami was presenting, from the standpoint of the Lord, the wise man is myself. So since all the love is the love to the self, so I'm going to love the wise man as well. This is my teaching. The Jnani with a steadfast mind has resort to consciousness alone, who am the highest God. So when Christians mention these, the other types of devotees may feel sorry or bad. I don't think that other devotees, maybe. Bhagwan has voted for the Jnani. Okay, so therefore Bhagwan does not like us. Some people will say, I do so much pujas and rituals and, sacrifice and tapas. So here Krishna say, don't worry, I love all of you, more or less the same. But of all jivas, I love the Jnanis because the Jnanis are identical to myself. In the case of other bhaktas, bhakta and good are different, and therefore love towards God is conditional only, invariably conditioned. Therefore, Jnani, Tatimaya, This is Mahavakya Sloka, where the aikyam between Jnani and Bhagwan is revealed. Okay. So from the standpoint of the devotee Jnani, we understand clearly this logic. All other devotees love the Lord conditionally. I only love for this if you provide this and that. But the Jnani, no. Jnani does not see division, separation, and does not ask anything to the Lord. The Jnani got beyond the Kama Yoga stage in which they say, okay, Lord, please, give me some punya, but if Papa comes, I will take it as prasad. No, he just sees, no, I am the Lord. My nature is identical to the nature of the Lord. This is all Mitya. I am Satya. And I understood Saguna and Shwara, but furthermore, I understood clearly Nirguna Brahman. And I don't have any request or demand towards Saguna, Ishwara, because I understood Saguna Ishwara to be Nirguna Brahman, my very nature. So there is an aikyam between the Jnani and Brahman. In all Mahavakyas, that we will find that, the declarations of identity. So what is the greatest of the person, the Jnani person? He is the one who has got a committed mind and purified and integrated mind. Integrate mind, integrate is a very good word, which is not often appearing in the text, It should be taken here as purified mind, but properly balanced, meaning to say great intellect and great heart, great devotion, great discrimination and great dispassion. So integrate mind. and somebody who has the viveka to know that nirguna atma yanam is the ultimate goal of all lives. Therefore, this person is very committed. He's a person for whom the destination is very clear. He has come to the highest goal of life, which is myself. So he has come to the highest goal of life. Okay. Krishna will explain this later. Okay, so let's hope that it becomes even more clear. Display of concepts here. Krishna will explain later. They have different goals, all right? Between the bhaktas. Bhaktas here have different goals. There are the inferior goals, which is Artha Kama, Dharma, and it is the love to the Lord is dependent on the delivery of what God provides us as our Parabada. So if I want to love God's condition, it depends on the Parabada. This goal is very finite, and as well as gaining things such as Artha Kama Dharma is finite by nature as well. But by the grace of Ishwara, in my love for Saguna Brahman, Saguna Ishwara, I may get what I want. Back to this text, Bhagavata. There is a beautiful story. A couple do not have children. They pray to a rishi that somehow we want a child. We do not want anything else. We don't want jnana or moksha. We want a child. So the woman must have a child, otherwise it's really looked down in a in a society such as a Hindu one. She would face incredible problems. This lady prays for a child. The rishi sees how dedicated she was and said, okay, I will give you. I give you this child, and then the rishi goes away, and after some time something happens and the child dies. Where there is birth, there is also death. So the mother should be more specific. I want a child that lives for 100 years, or at least until, for as long as I live. Death also can happen. We do read many cases where the child dies, and then this couple cries, and the same rishi comes, and then the rishi gives a special boon. So the story continues here. So they complained to the rishi, so the child died. And then the rishi showed up again and says, okay, I'm going to give you a certain access to the locker in which your child is now. So you can at least go there to visit him for some time. So the parents went there. And the parents, when they saw the child, say, ooh, so beautiful to be with you again. You are our child. And the child, we are your parents, you are our child. The child asked the question, which parents are you? I have had so many parents so far. The parents are relevant from the standpoint of the physical body. From the standpoint of the mind, there is no parents. There are numberless parents. You know that in many births, we have had so many bodies, and with regard to each body, we had the parents that helped to produce these bodies. Since the child has dropped off the body, their relationship was broken. The child could not recognize them as his parents. they only recognize that all these accomplishments, so then only then the parent recognize that all accomplishments are only limited and relative. Even the best relationship is subject to arrival and departure. Then they ask for the wisdom, and the parents should have asked for spiritual wisdom, knowledge, self-knowledge, atmayanam. Otherwise, we are stuck with relating to things, people, things, time, events, and circumstance. Everything is subject to arrival and departure when they ask for the wisdom, and then the Rishi gave them yanam. Any other gain in the world is inferior, meaning to say it's subject to time. Whereas Krishna tells that Lord is not a relative accomplishment, is the highest goal. Very nice.
Arlindo, this is a good lesson for teaching us that not to try to control others. You know, especially it happens, I think, in families. But everybody is really a karma stream put in the realm of your prarabdha, but appreciation for Ishwara's order just makes you stand back and not try to control that.
Yeah, it's very, it's a great illustration. Yeah, we get to have these associations, relationships, and children association is a big one. Did you have children?
No, I did not. No.
So they are very, very strong, especially from mothers, huh? And that stories somehow it sheds light on the nature of attachment in these relationships, human relationships, especially when, oh, it's my blood and this and that. And yeah, to see everything and everyone as Ishwara's children. And as you said, we are just sharing our journeys without believing that I own you, aham, and kara mamakara, no? Because every relationship is a tragedy because of this tendency to want to own and control the other. The verse 19, at the end of many births, one comes to the Lord. To me, Krishna says, as a wise man, meaning to say with Atmayana, with the wisdom that Vasudeva is everything. Such a noble soul is very rare. So, how many births? Who knows? Yeah. But we know that life is a process by which we can grow in wisdom. I love this word, wisdom. And the ultimate wisdom is to understand the nature of God as one's very nature, Nirguna Atma. So, and then the verse points that these last births, the births by which one becomes a wise person, is synonymous of merging back into Brahman. It says here, one comes to me. The idea of the river merging into Brahman, into the ocean of Brahman. At the end of many, many incarnations, one finally merged back in me as myself, This is the nature. This is due to wisdom. Only the wise man burns, joins or merges back into myself, knowing that Brahman is everything, the only reality. So the individual jiva surrenders its limited secondary inferior nature as the body-mind sense complex, and somehow claims one's true nature as identical to Brahman. This is wisdom, the only wisdom that can pacify our minds before Kalam comes to take away this old body. And then in the end, it says, this noble soul is rare. It says again and again in the scriptures. It seems to be rare. It seems to be rare. But not impossible. And what I often say to my Portuguese students is, doesn't matter how rare it may be. It matters is that this is the best game in town, spiritual elevation. Krishna admits that these four stages of bhakti, a person cannot go through in one birth alone. But who knows? How can we say this is my first, or this is my 1.5 million janma, you know? So, but Krishna is suggesting that we go, the soul travels through many bodies, you know, becoming the body-mind sense complex and going through the ups and downs, growths and declines in this process of wisdom. So it seems to be the case. It's difficult to wrap our mind through this concept as well, because this is all mithya. Which one was my first birth? First? Are you kidding? There's no such a thing as a linear time schedule in which Shwara comes as this is your first one. So I'm saying it's gonna take time. Time means to say several births to develop maturity, and therefore, initially when I'm suffering from problems, Bhagwan comes and asks, do you want water or myself? Maturity. I think I shared with you the situation with my aunt who lost her husband 2 years ago, and she started doubting if she trusts and loves God really as she has imagined in the past. It takes so much maturity to be a Karma Yogi devotee, and furthermore to be a Jnana Yogi devotee. Maturity is the key word here. Maturity is also a sign of spiritual wisdom. Without spiritual wisdom, there is no maturity. I often put this in that perspective. Mark was telling me that, somebody was saying that the most intelligent people in the planet, they are all atheists. And then I was saying, like, yes, it's okay. It's no problem for that. But wisdom is not synonymous of IQ. Or super intelligence. They are two different things, you know. And then I was telling Mark that wisdom does not require the person to have a super high IQ. And but wisdom is only possible to the extent that you understand the nature of reality, God. That's a totally different knowledge. Intelligence can be, you know, towards any field of objective knowledge, and people may have an incredible mind. And now with the extension of with AI, so they want to create the human 2.0, and that is going to take away human beings farther and farther from wisdom. Wisdom means understand the true nature of God, the true nature of reality. And then you have a picture which you see the larger picture of everything rather than knowing so much of small things, which requires an incredible, sharp, intelligent mind. And this wisdom is only possible if the person was born with a religious, spiritual, contemplative mind. Most people are born in here with the extrovert mind. Some wants to do things to enjoy, you know, prosperity and all these things, you know, prestige and power. And some people are extroverts to want to study all fields of science possible. You know, they want to know, but it's still extrovert. And the wise is the one who is born with vasana, spiritual vasana, or contemplative, introspective tendency to contemplate on the nature of reality. Okay? Anything from you?
Lovely class. My husband used to say, you're not intelligent unless you live intelligently. And so that intelligent use of your life is to not always have that extroverted mind, as you say,
No.
but to ask, you know, your own nature.
Yeah.
It's crazy that that question is not the first question. You know, you have to come to it after a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Knock your head against the wall a couple of times.
I mean, the first part of my life, I was totally confused and lost because society was telling me you have to go and do things and accomplish and become someone and get a good job and all these things, huh? Be successful. And something inside me was saying, no, you know, I don't think that it's these things are for me, huh? So definitely some of us comes, you know, we come with confusion respect to what's the purpose of this birth, you know?
Yeah, and I wonder sometimes if I would even have ever gotten to that question if I hadn't had Ishwara's grace to have some spiritual experiences early in life, you know, because yes, there's something more. What is it?
Yeah.
Comes up.
Yeah, sometimes it comes like that, you know, we redirect our lives. Some people they are born with a sense of morality, a sense of ethics, you know. That somehow that I'm talking to myself because in my case was like I don't fit in because let me tell you a small story. When I was a young man, I got a very good position in a multinational company in Rio de Janeiro, and the director of this company based in São Paulo, it is originally from the USA and Europe, but he would come to visit the biggest clients here with me and spend time. He used to take me to five-star restaurants and this and that. And then came a time that he was invited to take over and to be the director of the other branch of the same corporation. You know, corporation had another brand here, a different sort of equipment, all for the petroleum offshore industries of oil extraction. And then, but he was already so busy. He came and he had a conversation with his wife and say, listen, this is a rare opportunity. Very rarely somebody is offered to be a director of two companies. So as you can imagine, I'm going to be extremely busy then, extremely busy. Therefore, I want to offer you a deal, he said to her. So you're gonna have access to much more money. You know, we can buy a new car for you right now and this and that. They had 4 children. But from now on, I don't want to hear any problems of domestic problems between children and schooling. You're gonna have to take care of everything. Do you want it? And the woman saw the money and say, "Oh yes, yes, of course, I will take care of everything, but bring more money." So I was there having dinner with him in this incredibly sophisticated environment. And I asked him, but Richard, his name is Richard, Ricardo. Ricardo, uh, do you really believe that it is worth it? You're gonna live only for that. This is going to consume all your time. So do you need that much more money? So you think it's worth it? That was maybe the moment that he understood that I was going to be fired in the near future, you know. He looked at me and said, like, Arlindo, I never forget that meet. Arlindo, I was given this opportunity. Success is something that everybody wants. Everybody lives for success. Everybody is moving in this direction. Why I should turn my back to, why I should go to the other side? You understand? And then immediately I realized, I think, yeah, these goals are not for me. Because wherever I see a crowd moving in one direction, I suspect that there is something wrong with that path. So to me, it was like that, you know, I don't fit into society and the values of society, even though parents and relatives are saying, yes, you have to get the success, more success, more success. And then I blew it all to become a spiritual vagabond to the despair of my parents.
Great story. Thank
Okay.
God.
Yeah, it is kind of you're building with a sensibility towards morality, ethics, you know, and you see, so the means do not just the end does not justify the means, you know, cannot. I did not know where that tendency was coming, but it can only come from previous births, you know. Okie dokie. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishate Om Shanti 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 Om. Okay, namaste. We meet you
Thank
again this coming Monday.
thank you, Arlindo.
Thank you. Bye bye.